Hello and welcome back to the Rank podcast where we talk about everything Roblox and Discord. So in this episode, I'm gonna just talk about a bunch of random new topics. So I guess I'll start off with like the biggest lie in Roblox leadership. Like I always feel like too many groups have like 8,000 roles, and the problem is it takes so long to fill those roles that by the time you fill the role, someone higher up is inactive now and doesn't react to anything in the server anymore. So now all of a sudden you'd fill that position. And then you fill that position, and then the person that you just hired to do a lower position, well, they don't want to do that position anymore, so they're gone. So it's just like almost like an infinite loop where you never actually get a group set up because you're constantly filling positions that people keep leaving or being inactive. And it's just always a pain. So I feel like if you're going to start out, unless you know like 25 people who are all going to actually be active, you probably want to start off with a small amount of roles that you can expand as you need to, but like just not overdoing it right when you start because it will be a pain to fill out those positions. Or even just possibly just you could add a role, extra roles, but just don't use them. Keep them as role ideas that you could use in the future, but right now we're not using them because you don't need to use that role. And it's just like kind of a waste otherwise. Um, and kind of another idea with that is like it's very difficult to actually get decent people because most of the time you're just going to get people that join that just want to have the highest possible rank, not because they're good at it, not because they know anything, just because they want a high rank so they can abuse it or do whatever they do with it. And or you could even get the people that do all this stuff. They act like great people, and then they just delete everything. They start kicking people. They start banning people. They start changing people's ranks. They start raiding your group because you gave them permissions, and it's really annoying because obviously you just spent all that time filling all the positions, and now everyone's gone. So that's just great. So that's definitely another big thing that I've seen is just being very vigilant and not giving people permissions they don't need, or possibly starting out with lower position, like lower permission that they, even if they technically maybe need a permission, you just don't give it to them when they first start because you actually need to know that they're actually going to be trustworthy. Because most of the time, those people aren't going to be waiting weeks and weeks for you to trust them before they rate it because that's way too much effort. So it's definitely another big thing I've seen. And then moving on to Discord, they actually, I guess, are delaying their age verification stuff for the, the next half of the year. But I've seen some people complaining still that it's just really dumb, and I kind of agree that it really doesn't serve a good purpose, and it's not really doing anything other than possibly having leaks of people's information. So it's just kind of, in my opinion, dumb that they're even continuing it. They should just say, okay, maybe we'll just actually not do this stupid update that's not going to help anybody. I mean, obviously, there's the countries that require it by law where they actually have to do it. Otherwise, they're going to get fined a lot of money. But there's so many better, like, I've seen people like suggest the idea of doing a credit card verification where you have to obviously have a credit card on file and then you're able to verify that you're above 18 because to have a credit card, you have to be above 18 in most countries. So that's something interesting I've seen, and it's a lot less risky than having because a credit card can be easier replaced. You can't replace identification card, and you don't really want your picture leaked out on the internet because you can't change your face. So I think it's definitely a very interesting idea, and I think if Roblox, I mean, if Discord can do that, that would be way better than send us a picture of your face or scan your government ID because nobody really wants to do that and possibly have that leaked out on the internet for anybody to see. And then like in terms of Roblox, I just really wish they reversed that update, but I'm not going to talk about it too much because there's not anything really new in terms of that. Um, and then speaking about a new thing, we're actually at RankBlox. We're currently working on a new dashboard system, and we're getting pretty close to a first release, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. At first, obviously, it's gonna be a lot less features than what we actually want, but I think it'll at least be another tool that people can use and allow us to do some cool things that we can't do just on Discord. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. We're getting pretty close to at least being able to do some internal testing because we're not there yet where we can actually really use it. It's just very much the most baseline setup right now, but it's pretty exciting that we're getting close to a finalized release. And we actually are going to be doing some more testing on a RankBlox update, not the dashboard, but I've been working on some new features and just some bug fixes, some backend changes. In terms of that I'll be releasing to public beta testers. It's currently being tested with our private beta testers right now, and then it'll go out to at least public beta testers. So if you want to check that out, you can on our Discord server just add that role, the beta tester's role, and then you'll be able to test all of the new updates early. Obviously, it's not like you're the first people to test it, but you get still early access and get to test out new features before they're released and announced yet. But we have some cool features that are coming out in that update, and I'm hoping to, after that, obviously start on the next update. And there's another couple features that I need to add, and I think I'm getting pretty close on at least the suggestions list. I have a lot of stuff that I've come up with that I want to look into, but on a suggestions channel, I've actually think I have a decent amount of them that are possible at least right now, um, either done or are going to be worked on in the next update after the one that we're currently testing right now. But it's pretty exciting. And then I guess more into the behind the scenes, like, I feel like people might think running a Discord bot is a lot harder than it really is. I mean, it kind of depends on what your Discord bot is, obviously, because more resource intense services uh, like not that there's really that many more, but music bots when they used to be big is they took a huge amount of resources because running like stuff like that, like music and stuff is takes a lot of resources, like actually a lot compared to just like a basic Discord bot. It requires basically nothing. Like you could run it on any computer, but essentially, and it would work as long as it supports the basic packages that you're using. But they're really easy to run. Um, and obviously, just basically where you're hosting it, because I know there's lots of free tools to host Discord bots or just cheap tools that aren't very good. And if you get a decent service, I mean, there's really no concern with outages and stuff like that, at least in terms of your server host. Obviously, your bot can still go down if you have a error that you didn't fix and then it crashes the bot and it goes offline. That's obviously an issue, but that's not necessarily the host's fault, at least. So if you can at least get a good host, that's also another good thing, because then you can limit outages and use tools that obviously auto restart after an outage so that you don't have to worry about it, because you don't want to be having your servers go down at 4 a.m. and either have to wake up somehow. I don't know how you notify yourself to wake up, or it's just down for several hours before you get back up. So that's obviously not a good sign. Not something you want, but I feel like it's really not as difficult as you might think. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that goes into maintaining it, like in terms of burnout, which burnout is just something that can happen with anything, but with a Discord bot as well, because there's a lot of like you could get a list of things that you need to work on that's like 100 100 things that you gotta work on. And to look at that and be like, "Yep, I'm gonna do all of those right now easily," is really, really difficult, because you're just gonna look at it and be like, "I can't even comprehend how many things I have to do, let alone even start on it." So you just stare at it and then you never actually start on it. And then next thing you know, it's been 3 months and you've done nothing. So I think for me at least, just choosing a few things that I wanna work on at a time and just doing those. If I can at least get a couple features out first, I can at least have something that people can actually use. If I sit here and try and add all 100 at the same time and never get anything done, then what did I accomplish? I accomplished nothing. So there was no point in trying to do it all at once, because it's not going to be faster. It's always going to be slower. You may think it is, but it's never going to be faster. And that can be even the same thing with Roblox groups and Roblox development in general. Like, you have to be willing to choose a few big topics and not just do everything at once. You can't do everything. Unless you have a big team, you're not gonna be able to do everything at once. So you have to choose specific things that you think are most important for like a minimum viable product. So whatever the minimum things you need for this group, for this game to function is what you should work on first. Once you get that, it makes it so much easier to work on the rest because you can see how much work you've already done. Like, you shouldn't overdo yourself in terms of work because you're never going to finish it. It's just the truth. Even the most dedicated people struggle when you have just ridiculous amounts of tasks to do. So just choose a couple that are good and work on that. That's been a big thing for me, especially with RankBlox, um, and just keeping that. I mean, I think with Discord bot, the hardest part is obviously just paying for it because they really, at a small scale, don't really make that much. Like right now, we're essentially losing money, I think, still. Um, Although we are getting pretty close to at least breaking even, which would be good. But like, you have to be willing to either do it for fun and not for the money, or be able to host it for a very long time without making any money before you actually make anything. So it's not like it's just like a free money glitch where you're just gonna start getting a bunch of free money because it's not true. You are you essentially, if you want to build a service in Discord bot that's used by a large amount of people, you are going to have to invest money into it. Not, I'm not saying $10,000, but like at least $100. So it's like you can make a Discord bot for free, but it's not going to scale for free. You have to be able to add things like a website, and you have to make it look decent. You have to make things work, and you also don't want to have giant security risks. So there's lots of things that you actually have to pay for that there's really no free solution for. Even if you want to build it yourself, it's essentially net. There's no free way to do it. So that's those are little things that I always think about in terms of that. And let's see, what should I talk about next? So what actually makes a Roblox group grow? For me, I feel like a unique game, unique idea is the number one thing because it's so difficult when you make the 10,000th cafe group, you made the 10,000th military group. Why would they choose your group? Why would they choose yours? There's thousands of other groups that are probably have more members, more active, better game, better everything. Think of your own unique idea. That's the key. And you can get a unique idea that no one else has, that if someone wants to play it, they have to play yours. They can't say, oh, well, I'm going to go play Steve's game because it's way better and he has hundreds of players in the game right now. If you're the only one, they have to play your game if they want to play that type of game. Or if you want to do that type of Roblox group, make it unique. Always make it unique. That's the same thing with Discord bots. My service is unique. That's why people use it. There's not very many competitors. If I try to make the 5,000, probably even 100,000 utility bot that does banning, kicking, and stuff on a Discord server, why would anybody use mine? It could be a raid bot for all they know. It could be have a giant security risk where everyone gets nuked and everyone gets kicked and banned. Why would they use mine? That's kind of my idea, and that's what I've always kind of gone off. Because I've definitely run a bunch of Roblox groups, and the problem is they never really grew that much because they're not unique. If you can't make something unique, it's going to be really difficult. It's not impossible. You can still do it with a non-unique idea, but you have to be willing to make uniqueness to it. Like if you're going to make a cafe group, do something different. Like add a cool feature that no other group has, and then all of a sudden they're going to have to play your game or your group to use that feature. They won't be able to go to another group. So there's lots of little things. Even if you can't think of a unique idea, or you really are motivated to do this specific idea, you don't have to like create some brand new crazy idea all the time. It's the most like if you want the most highest chance of success, obviously come up with a unique idea for your entire game, but you can also just add a interesting feature that no other group has. I would obviously recommend more than just one single feature, but because people can just copy that and add it to theirs and now they have the same stuff. But I think you you should be able to think of a bunch of unique ideas. I think it's just really hard if you're not like if you're running a Roblox group and you're not a developer, it's really rough because you either have to pay a lot of money for developers or know developers that are willing to do work for free, or I guess somehow find people that are willing to do work for free, which is very, very difficult because everyone charges, which obviously they should. Charging for your work is something you kind of have to do. You can do it like if you're going to continuously do it. Obviously, you can always work for free, but I, I I would never recommend it because the problem is at some point you're not really like you're just wasting your own time. I mean, if that's what you enjoy, obviously do it. But anyways, I think just making sure your Roblox group is unique, coming up with unique ideas is definitely the most important. There's obviously plenty of other things you need to do as well. Like you need to actually have a half decent like main staff team. Like you have to I think for me the hardest thing is you need to have like a group of people that you know that are skilled and good at running a group to help you because you can't run a group yourself. You can't be the only admin with admin powers. It's just not going to work. You need to have a team of, I would say, probably at least 5 people that you can trust, that you would trust with literally giving them the owner of your group, not just random people you find because you can't trust them. They'll just nuke your group possibly or do with it or just become inactive and do nothing. So you just need to know people. That's the hardest part that are willing to actually like help you. And the hardest part is that they have to at least be skilled. So it's just kind of rough because it's like you may know a bunch of people and then you add them and then they don't know what they're doing at all. So they make the group even worse. And obviously you really don't want that because then you have issues with like, oh, I have to remove this person. Now they hate me, blah, blah, blah. So obviously I wouldn't recommend doing that. You should probably know that they're actually good at that before you decide to invite them to your project. But obviously, it can still work out. It doesn't you don't have to be experts because no one's an expert, and if you are, you're lying. But anyways, I think just doing that and then also just being active yourself in the community, talking to people, and not just sitting back and doing nothing because when you I feel like as someone who's obviously played in a lot of Roblox groups, when you see an active owner, when you see active staff team, like when I'm talking staff, I mean like the high ranking team, not just any staff member. If you see that, it makes you a lot more motivated to play because, like, when you never see the owner a single time, like, you're like, "What is the owner even real? Are they just taking my money from playing their game and just running away with it and doing nothing themselves?" Like, I think there's obviously lots of things that you could do to actually make it better, um, and just constant events, constantly planning things and maybe not overdoing it. If you have, like, 20 members in your Discord server, don't ping everyone every single time to join your event because it's just never gonna work from experience. You're just gonna lose all your members because 'cause they're like, "Well, why am I getting pinged 4,000 times a day? I'm leaving this group." What you really need to do is set up reaction roles or using, onboarding to have roles for different pings because if someone wants to get pinged for that and you add that, then when you ping them for it, they're not gonna get immediately upset, and if they do, they can just remove the role, then not leave your server. You don't want them to leave your server because that's the worst thing. You lose that member forever, basically. So just not ping at everyone ping should only be for literally the most important things and very, very rare. So a lot of time in between because no one wants to get pinged constantly. It's really annoying to get constant pings. So you shouldn't ping them. If they want to get pinged, like for me, I have an announcements rule for announcement pings. I only ping that role for announcements. If there's something really important, sure, I'll ping everyone. But that's very rare. I don't ping everyone all the time because again, people don't like it. They get upset and they leave. You lost that person now. So those are other things that I've learned that are just really important is just not pinging everyone or at here. At here is also another ping. You shouldn't ping that all the time. You should use reaction rules and onboarding to have roles that people can choose if they want to get pinged for. And then you'll have more people that are actually interested because now you're not having all those people that are upset. And then when you have those people upset, they leave. And then maybe they in the future would have been interested. And right now they're not. So they leave your group right now. They don't wait till the future. So you have to be willing to do those type of things and add stuff like that. Um, And then, yeah, so I feel like Roblox groups are just really, really there's a lot of work. It's not easy. It may seem easy. You may look at a lot of groups where the owner is never active. You're like, oh, that's so easy. It's not. To gain all those members, to get a game, to have staff, it's not easy at all. It's a lot of work, and you're going to need to have a lot of time on your hand to invest into this because it's not an easy thing. It's something I think it's fun and can be cool, but it's not something you're going to start making $10,000 a day. It's gonna be a lot of work, and you're gonna spend a lot of money on it, and then you're gonna maybe make any amount back. Maybe probably not a profit for a while, but I think it's a fun experience at least. You learn a lot. Even if you don't make anything, you're at least learning from just what it's even like. Because it's not even like it's like it may seem stupid, like it's a Roblox group, but you're actually learning things that you can use in life. Like I think it's not that dumb. Like it can be something cool, running the group. Maybe being staff, probably you're not learning that much, but running a group, because there's so many little things that you have to be worried about all the time, and I think it's really valuable, even though it sounds dumb that a Roblox group running a Roblox group, let me put that on my resume, but it's valuable information that you can't really learn anywhere else, or at least easily anywhere else. It's literally like running your own business. It's a lot of work, but there's a lot of rewards that are possible out of it. Like your Roblox group, it there's nothing stopping it from growing to 2 million members, and now all of a sudden you're literally making $1,000 a day. Like that's a lot of money. That's life-changing money. So you should always at least look at that and just look at all the things that you've accomplished to get to where you are. Even if you're not making $1,000 a day, which you probably aren't, you can compare from day one where you knew nothing. I'm sure you started a group and you knew nothing and then you screwed it all up. And now all of a sudden you're running a group with 1,000 members, let's say. That's a lot of members. Think about it this way, 1,000 people, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. So you also need to be able to look at what you've done. And even if it's not exactly where you want to be, I'm sure it's better than where you started. So that's my thoughts on Roblox groups right now. And from my experience, um, it's just a lot of time to put into it. So it's not easy, but it's really cool to run one. And obviously, you want to choose something that you actually like because it's a lot of time. So I wouldn't recommend choosing a topic that you don't enjoy. And the problem is definitely with burnout in relation to running a Roblox group. It's just really difficult because it's a lot of work. So you're gonna kind of have to deal with it and kind of keep working through it. When you really, really don't want to run an event today, you you should do it still because that's kind of required because people are just going to leave and not care. It's just so difficult. You leave a Roblox group for a week, it's dead, completely dead. Everyone's gone. No one cares. You ping everyone. Nobody reacts. You start losing people from you like that. That's kind of what it is. So it's really, really, really difficult. That's why you just need to just lock in essentially, like just hope for the best. In my opinion, it's half luck and half skill. Like there's really no easy way to run a Roblox group unless you're willing to drop like stupid amount of money on advertisements. It's not that easy. Never is, at least for cheap. But I guess going back to Roblox development, like if you're a developer and you're doing like commission based, don't undervalue your work. Like you can maybe at the start have cheaper rates and you'll get more like experience. But as your experience grows, your price should too. You can't always charge nothing. Like a for me, a Discord bot, it could like I don't really use Robux anymore, but as I just don't use them at all. So there's no point in me accepting it as a payment method very much anymore. But you need to charge more when you continue to create good things because people will pay. If you can create something that's really good, people will pay for it and a lot more than you may expect. Like I've sold multiple Discord bots where maybe before I was selling them for 500, 400 Robux for thousands. You just need to be able to accept that sometimes you're not gonna. Obviously, you're gonna tell someone, I'm gonna charge you 5,000 Robux, and they're gonna say no. That's gonna happen. But y- you you need to be able to value your own work at a reasonable rate because depending on what you do, it could be very valuable and you're charging nothing and you could charge a lot more. So I don't recommend obviously charging on your very first job ever ridiculous amounts, but you can still try, I guess. If you want, I wouldn't recommend it though. But yeah. And I guess into just scams and stuff on Discord and Roblox of like all of the ridiculous scams. Like I've seen personally the scam where they try to have you send your Roblox cookie by saying, "Hey, we're gonna give you a free avatar. We just need you to copy this file." Then you send it to them, and actually inside of it is a Roblox cookie. So wouldn't recommend that. 99% of the time, if someone says something's free, it's not free. Um, and if they're asking for stuff from you, it's that's what's making it paid because you're giving them something. So obviously, there's probably a reason they want that information or that file. There's probably a reason, and it's probably not because they wanna help you. Like, it's kind of sad, but most people don't wanna actually help you. They want to steal stuff from you because they don't wanna do the hard work to make you money. They wanna just steal it from other people, so that's obviously annoying stuff, I know, like, with all the stupid fake verification Discord bots and stuff like that, because Discord changed their verification requirements for Discord bots. Essentially, anybody can get verified. You can have it in one singular Discord server. You can get verified immediately, and it literally just upload your ID, and the problem is people actually sell IDs on the internet, even if it's not theirs. So, just because it's verified does not mean it's trustworthy at all. And also, just because it's verified doesn't mean that the owner isn't just gonna randomly decide, "Actually, I wanna nuke everyone's servers." Like, Discord's not gonna all of a sudden sue them unless they're actually causing ridiculous amounts of damage. Like, Discord doesn't have time to sue every single Discord bot that and they don't even know that's the real person. Just because you got verified doesn't mean that you're the real person. Even if you have the ID and a photo of someone holding the ID, that does not mean that that is a real person. So that, like, it's just really annoying. With all the stupid scam bots and even just the scam messages in general nowadays, it's like people just get hacked and all of a sudden they send out in every single server, "Hey, do you wanna go to this link and it's totally legit," or they send a picture of crypto crap, like, for me, if I ever see crypto, it's fake. I don't even believe it because literally I've never actually seen a genuine use for it. In terms of, like, in a Discord server where a message was sent and it involved crypto and it was not a scam. Like, genuinely, it's always a scam. And if it's not, they've convinced you that it's not a scam because it definitely still is a scam. Like, I think it's just kind of ridiculous with all that. I just ignore it, to be honest. And I was even working on a, AI, Discord bot that is trained on some, messages and is able to detect scams. It's very much a work in progress, but I think it's pretty cool to help at least with some of that. And I've seen there's also other Discord bots out there, like open source Discord bots that kind of do similar stuff, like with the image spam. Because if somebody gets hacked, they typically will send an image in every single possible channel that they can send an image in. So you can just detect if they send it in multiple channels, and boom, now you know that they're actually a scammer and they got hacked. Or it's like a hacked account because normally the person doesn't do that themselves. They don't normally send a message in every single channel ever. So it's pretty obvious, but I guess the only issue is that I'm sure scammers are gonna try and find a way around those filters, but that's just how it is. It's always annoying. It's like moderation in general of anything is so difficult at scale. And even at a small scale, it's still difficult. Like moderating Discord servers in terms of like specific rules, not TOS violations where it's serious and very obvious, kind of in a way. Um, it's just difficult all the time. It's like it's impossible. All you can do is hope for the best, basically. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of the Ranked podcast. So make sure to check out the previous episode, and if you're watching this in the future, check out all the episodes after this. Thank you for listening.